All right, 928 fans, this is the final day. This is the final day of trial and tribulation for the 928. If this doesn't fix it, we're going a whole new direction. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. The 928 has been covered up for a few days because I haven't been here. And I'm trying to at least keep the paint from getting more scratched up by me being a klutz and running around here in the garage. So yes, I have more parts in store for the car. That's fuel tank hose I have to replace. You'll notice the air filter is off because the air box is being a total jerk. Or I should say the airflow meter is being a total jerk. And I have one here. So hopefully this is an untampered air fuel meter. Well, it says, I don't know if that says, let's see what that says on the top. That says okay. It does look like it's been drilled out, but it also looks like somebody's helicoiled all the bolts. It's not the cleanest, but we're going to go through and test this one before I put it back in the car and at least make sure that the resistance is running right. It does look like someone's had the cap off at some point because there's silicone on the joint there. All right, the best way that I've found to remove the airflow meter on these cars is not to undo the 4 bolts and take the funnel off and then take the black plastic plenum off. It is just to undo the 2 13 mils here and then pull the whole airflow meter lower half of the air box out and then unclip it on that side. Maybe while holding a camera. Have I mentioned how tired of this process I am? Okay, there's that. Come on, make the noise. There we go. There. So that's out. Now I just need to reach up in there, undo that plug, and the whole thing comes out. Okay, for this part of the procedure, I have my handy 928 service information that I printed off from the internets. And if you go in here, I can't tell you what page it is. I have to like flip through. Here we go. Page 18 of this fine document. It will tell you what all of these terminals do. So we're going to test each one of these here and compare across and compare with our diagram. And we'll see if I'm handy enough to set this up so that I can show it all to you at the same time as we're doing reading. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we've got our measurements here. You can sort of see what I'm doing. So the first measurement we're going to take on here is we're going to take measurement 6 to 9, which is this terminal to the terminal next to it. So it's showing 1/2 of 1,000. So 563. Over here is 564. Okay. Well, that's good. That shows that the first adjustment is out of spec right off the bat. That makes me feel good. The second one is terminal 6 to 8, which is here and here. And it should be 130 to 260. So I have 365. 365, so it's the same across the two airflow meters. 6 to 7, which is here to here, should be 40 to 300. And that's 90, 91, and 197. So that's a pretty significant difference there. And then we go 7 to 8, which is these two here. Trying to keep my hands out of the way too. So 7 to 8 should be 294, and this should be 100 to 500, and this is 293. 7 to 8 here, 400. So that's a significant difference. And then 27 to 6. So outside to outside should be 2 to 3,000 ohms. And that's 3875. And that is 3024. So it's just a hair over the spec. So that's interesting. So the next step is to put it back in the car. And we're going to check and see what the oxygen sensor is reading in the car. So while you're waiting for me to reassemble this, the issue that I had with the airflow meter that I fixed was I could not adjust the CO. So I had an Allen wrench down in there while the car was running, turning it, hooked up to the oxygen sensor inside the car, and no change at all. Like, it was still pig rich, blowing black smoke out of the exhaust. My clothes smelled like, I ran it for a couple minutes in the garage. Car smelled like absolute, like, I smelled like fuel. The car smelled like fuel. The airflow meter still smells like fuel. So it was just washing the inside, like, it was just full rich. So trying to fix that. All right, everything's hooked back up. I'm actually hooked up now. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm hooked up with my voltmeter to the oxygen sensor, like directly to the oxygen sensor wire from the oxygen sensor. And now we are hooked up here to the voltmeter and to ground. And we're going to start the car and run it for a bit. What we're looking for is looking for volts, not resistance. So we're looking for 0.5 volts. We're right around there at idle. So what we should have on the oxygen sensor to let us know that it's working in the range that it's supposed to be. Now it is going to take a few minutes to settle in and start working. There we can see some volt readings are starting. That's not good. Oh wait, well, it should read rich when it's starting, so if it's going to run rich right now, that's okay. But it's not at full 0.95 like it was before, which is nice. So we're still right back to where we were before. 0.93 running full rich. Okay, after some more research, here we have, finally this thing is working like it's supposed to. Might need to richen it up just a little bit more. What was the problem? The fuel regulator was leaking fuel into the vacuum lines. You can see it there, like, dripping out. So Mr. 0280161008, you are a terrible piece of equipment that has outlived your service to this vehicle. So there we go. Now it's running pretty good. So finally, this car is running the way it should. I'm excited that it's running the way it should. It means I'm probably going to try to use it a little bit this summer and enjoy it. But we're going to start collecting parts. This isn't going to stay this way forever. So I'm going to leave you hanging with that. Until next time, get out there and work on something.